Hi everyone, Bernard here. Welcome to my film and TV channel, and today we're going to the world of Netflix and we're just looking at a 10 episodic season that's just shown. Season 1, Series 1, depending which part of the world you're in. We call them series here in the UK. And we've got something called Emily in Paris. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications when all these vlogs are coming out. I do film review vlogs and information vlogs and some quizzes as well as these TV drama reviews. So please, if you can push that subscribe button, it'd be fantastic. And please leave your comments. Very interested to know what you think. And if you can't leave your comments, just leave us a thumbs up so I know you've been here and you've watched it. It's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs up as well. I try to inform and entertain as best I can. And I've took on a big challenge here with this one. Obviously, I'm not really in the demographic, I don't think, of this one for Netflix, but I'm very lucky. I'm very eclectic in my taste of different things, so I always give things like this a chance. Right, so we've got 10, 25 to 30 minute episodes, so they're not overly long, which I was pretty grateful for when I started watching this, to be honest with you, because it did take a little while to, and I'll admit it now, grow on me a little bit, which it did. As a comedy drama romance created by Darren Star, who I'm not familiar with much of his work. I know he's done Beverly Hills 90210 and stuff like that, but he's not someone I've sort of watched in the past. So it's quite interesting, and it's quite interesting to read some of the critique on him as well. It premiered on Netflix on the October the 2nd, 2020. So I must have missed this because I'm recording this on October the 14th, so a couple of weeks. I must have missed this or not noticed it on my sort of Netflix notifications. It stars Lily Collins in the title role as Emily, an American woman, young woman, moving to Paris on a job opportunity. She struggles to succeed in the workplace there while searching for love and experiencing the culture clash with her boring Midwestern upbringing. I think no matter where you come from outside of France, I think there's going to be a culture clash there because of how they are, to be honest with you. It also stars Ashley Park, Philippine Leroy Bellew, Lucas Bravo, Samuel Arnold, Camille Razat and Bruno Guri. Is it any good? Well, Rotten Tomatoes, there's no breakdown of scores, but overall it's getting a 67% positivity rate, which is okay. Audience rating is 64% positivity, again, okay, nothing fantastic. But it was interesting, I was looking at a couple of the reviews linked to Rotten Tomatoes, and obviously we had RogerEbert.com, we had Roxana Hadidi commented for them, and obviously it didn't bode well when I read this. This was the very first review I looked at, and she goes on to say, Darren Star's TV shows have long been dismissed as frothy confections, interchangeably obsessed with wealth and sex, but they've never been boring. With their perpetual angst and recurring bed-hopping, Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place push back against conservatism of prime-time TV. Sex and the City not only revived HBO, I did like Sex and the City, I must admit, Sex and the City, I must admit. Not only revived HBO and introduced new generations to Manolo Blahnik's shoes, but also brought questions about women's sexual desire to the pop culture forefront. And Younger has been a surprise hit for TV land. I have no idea what that's about. Morphing into a cult favourite that amusingly tackles questions of ageism and sexism. Be interesting. None of the same praise can be levelled towards Star's newest effort, Emily in Paris. All of the criticisms that have previously been levelled at Star are actually valid when it comes to this Netflix series, which is so devoid of narrative tension that it barely qualifies as entertainment. So quite hard hitting there, and it did go on. I mean, she went on a little while with other criticisms, etc. But I just thought I'd read that out because that was the first review I read, so I wasn't overly optimistic, and the sort of strong words, weren't they? But I always have a look at what Joe Public, what you and me would think, and no doubt I had to look at Internet Movie Database, and over 14,000, so there's not going to get many reviews in this from people who are ringers, who perhaps worked on the production, etc, etc. When you've got over 14,000 reviews, you're going to get a fair reflection. And on 14,227, as I'm recording this, reviews, it's scoring 7.4 out of 10, which is quite a healthy score on Internet Movie Database. Anything over 7, as you know, is really good. And per episode, it's scoring anywhere between 7.1 and 8. Okay, some of the comments. This is from the consumers. This is from perhaps the people who are not critics, who are just a bit like me, who just like to watch something and be entertained. I liked it. It's fun, light, cheesy series. You will enjoy it, especially the ladies. But I mean, they made the French people look so bad. I hated that. Why? They didn't have to. Well, there you go. I mean, my thoughts on the French people in a moment. Incredibly bad, but I think teenagers may like it. Someone else said that's a fair point. Very cliche about French people a lot, and Americans quite a bit. Feels very outdated, rude, to just offer silly caricatures to laugh at beyond the Trump's view of the world. There should be a better way to enjoy and value cultural differences. I think we're not talking a documentary here, guys. Yes, it is full of cliches, but it's a fun and pleasant show to watch. I watched the whole season in one day, as did I. The only thing I found offensive is that French people are somehow promiscuous. There you go. I'm not going to say anything about that. Yes, it has, as someone else wrote, yes, it has a stereotypical view of Paris and Parisians, but it's not trying to be a documentary, for crying out loud. I could have wrote this myself. The show is funny and entertaining, and Lily Collins does a great job as the lead. For those complaining that Emily is arrogant for not speaking French, the whole point of the show is that she's a fish out of water who's been sent to Paris at the last minute without time for preparation. They do show her trying to learn the language while she's there, so what more do you want? I have to agree with that. I mean, I have been to France 3 or 4 times. I do speak a little bit of French, not too much. But to be honest with you, if I was fluent, I don't think I would feel comfortable speaking French, because the way the French people react to you, even if you try, they look down their noses at you. So obviously, I don't think this series tells us anything different to what I've seen myself from visiting France. All right, on less than a handful of occasions, but I've still been there. I've still spoke to French people. I've mixed with French people. And I do recognise some of the attitudes that come out in this series, even though they're very caricaturish, very, very stereotypical. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. And it was great fun. I did enjoy reading reviews on this, because there's a lot of political leanings on this, and the fact that it's making the French look bad, it's making the Americans look bad, blah, blah, blah. So there you go. I mean, I like France. I do love France. It's a shame. It's such a shame. It's just so full of French people. That's the only problem with France, in my opinion. But there you are. I've set my stall out straight away as far as that's concerned. Yeah, it has a Disney. Please, let's get on to more serious stuff. It has a Disney Channel feel to this presentation. I must admit, I say I don't watch much of Star's stuff. I've not seen much of his other programmes. And it's perhaps aimed at that teen who wants to move up a level, perhaps from watching Disney Channel, and it has that sort of feel to it. Grown-ups, and I mean 20 plus, 20 years plus, which I am just about, may struggle a little bit with this. Certainly initially, even with the 25-30 minute episodes. As a 61-year-old, I personally did struggle early on with the humour as well, which sort of makes me cringe, some of the humour within this. But if you stick with it, I must admit, I've seen a lot worse. And by the 10th episode, I thought it was okay. I was quite enjoying it. To get a 7+ rating, as it does, with over 14,000 scores, and perhaps certain critics have missed the point of what this is about and who this appeals to. It's full of stereotypes, yeah, as I've already said. And there's nothing in this that I would think, the bang out of order here. It's entertainment. It's well shot. It's great to see some of the nice locations of Paris, with the supporting cast as well to Lily, which is very, very good. I did enjoy the supporting cast. A couple weren't as palatable as others, but overall it was pretty good. So there's so many reviews that are just disliking this. So if they hadn't had disliked this for the stereotypes, it probably would have scored a lot higher than 7.4. There's a lot of negative reviews coming in just because of the structure of the actual series rather than what's in it and whether it was entertaining or not. Let's face it, it's just a series. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's just very light, cheesy entertainment. And personally, I didn't expect much more when I read bits about it. So I mean, if you know exactly what you're gonna get, then why complain? Just don't watch it. Just don't bother. it's definitely aimed at the teen market, especially those of the female persuasion. You know, it will appeal to some men and young men, old men like myself, but it didn't stop me warming to it. I still liked it, and I still really warmed to the heroine as well, our character played by Lily Collins, Emily. Obviously, I did sort of grow to like her as the thing progressed, and really wanted to stick up for her, and I wanted to do her to do okay. Will I go back and watch other Mr. Star's things? I don't think I will. I don't think I will be. I mean, some of the critics say they're far better efforts than this, but I'm not in a rush to go back and watch any of them. This was quite enough for now, I think, in a small dose. Perhaps in another year or two I might try something else of this ilk. But no, I did enjoy it. I did. Nice, simple. As I said, it's 10 episodes. I watched it. Well, obviously it only took, what, 3 or 4 hours or something like that, 25 minutes. So had a bit of a break, a little bit, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it all. By the end, I did quite enjoy it, even though I did struggle early doors. So yeah, my rating for this, as I say, I'm not in the demographic for this. If you're a young person and you're bothering to watch me, or you're an older person, give it a go. If you're a young person, you're probably not watching my old farty comments anyway. But I'm going to give it 6 out of 10, which is my basic watchable rating, because it was watchable, and I did it, as I said, I did enjoy it. Episode-wise, yeah, I wouldn't go as mad as the scores. IMDB was at 7.128. I mean, I would score it anywhere between 5.5 and 6.57. So that's why I've done an average of 6 out of 10. I say so. Certainly the early episodes took some getting into, but once you sort of grew to like Emily and obviously Lily Collins, and you could put up with the Frenchmen constantly coming on to her, which again, stereotypical thing, that isn't it? But yeah, I quite liked it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, if you did enjoy this, or you're gonna watch it even though you're well past your sell by date like me. Then you know, or hey, if you're 20 plus, I mean, I'm just about over 20 plus. Let me know what you think anyway. Please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back on there. And if you check my website, moviegamenostalgia.com, my little day job for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, some great films, some great actors. And there's some board games on there as well, that'd be much appreciated. And if you check my playlist, you will see, as well as movie reviews and quizzes and information vlogs, you will also see football mentioned. I'm a Manchester City fan, so I do history vlogs and current City vlogs as well on my club, Manchester City. So if you or you know anyone who might be interested in that, please, I would be very grateful if you point them in my direction. Anyway, thanks for watching this. Thanks for putting up with me watching this teenish sort of series, which an old man like me even enjoyed. What are we going to do with the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, it's Bird saying thanks for watching. Bye for now.